Okay guys, this is April 7th. This is the second day of chapter 8 in the Dogs book. I'll go through a few examples with you, get you started on some problems. Tomorrow I'll lecture on lab 8 for the computer science part of it, and then Thursday you guys will work on the lab. Okay, so gas consumption. So open up your Dogs book to chapter 8. Take a look at the gas consumption problem. Car traveling at 65 miles per hour gets 25 miles per gallon and travels for 45 minutes. How many gallons does the car use during that time? Okay, so what I need is gallons per trip. And what I can start with is, for instance, I know that since we're getting 25 miles per gallon, I can say, well, 1 gallon and 25 miles are equivalent, because over the same period of time, that's what's used. We go 25 miles and we use 1 gallon. But in the end, I want gallons per trip, which is why I put gallons on the top. So I'm not going to eliminate the gallons unit, but I am going to eliminate the miles unit. I'm going to eventually try to replace it with the trip. So based upon what I'm looking at, what other information do I have that involves miles? Okay, well, I know that we're going 65 miles per hour. So if I put 65 miles over here per hour, same thing, that allows miles to cancel. Okay? Well, now I have gallons per hour. Well, I want gallons per trip, so I have still a little bit of work to do. I know that it took 45 minutes, so I eventually need to change hours into minutes is what's going on here. I know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, okay, so that will allow the hours to cancel. So I need to make sure that if hours are on the bottom, I put hours on the top in the next one. And so now I've got gallons per minute. I'm closer. I know that this trip, 45 minutes for one trip, minutes cancel. Now I'm left with gallons per trip, which is what I'm shooting for. And so then I just have to do the simple calculation. I'm going to take 65 times 45 divided by 25 times 60, and I'm left with 1.95 gallons per trip. Okay? So keep track of those units. This is what it should look like on your paper when you guys are turning in a problem. Okay? Another question, leaky faucet part 1. A leaky faucet drips 1 fluid ounce every 30 seconds. How many gallons of water will leak from the faucet in a year? So gallons per year. Well, I don't have anything about gallons or years. I've got ounces and seconds. So I've got a lot of things to convert here. I need gallons per year, and gallons is a unit of capacity. So I'm going to take the ounces, which is a unit of capacity as well, and I'm going to start with that on top. So I know that I've got 1 ounce in 30 seconds. That's how much is dripping. And so eventually I get to change ounces to gallons, and I have to change seconds to years. And so I'm going to go through one step at a time. You could do it in a different order than I'm doing it in, but we're going to try to work this out. So the first thing I'm going to tackle is the seconds, and I'm going to try to convert that to years. So if I have seconds on the bottom, I have to put seconds on the top. I know there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. 60 times 60 is 3,600. You could have done that with one additional step if you wanted. So seconds cancel. Now I've got ounces per hour. Okay, I want years on the bottom because that's what they're asking me for, so I need to keep working. I know if I want hours to cancel, I'm going to put hours up here. So 24 hours in 1 day. Those are equivalent. Well, now I'm at ounces per day. I know there's 365 days per year, so now I've allowed days to cancel here. Now I'm left with ounces per year. I've got one thing taken care of. I've gotten rid of my, I've gotten the year on the bottom. I've gotten rid of seconds and put years down there. So now I can start working on ounces to gallons, okay? Some of these conversions you might have to look up if you don't know them off the top of your head, okay? For instance, I need ounces to cancel now, so I need ounces to be in the bottom. I know that 1 cup is 8 ounces. Now I'm at the point where I've got cups per year. I want gallons, so I need cups to cancel. There's 4 cups in a quart. Now I've got quarts per year. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. Now I'm left with gallons per year, which is what I was shooting for. And so then the rest of it is just simple mathematics. 3,600 times 24 times 365 divided by 30 times 8 times 4 times 4. And if I do that, I'm left with 8,212.5 gallons per year that are going to be lost if a faucet drips an ounce every 30 seconds. Okay? So again, make sure to show me this work, cross out the units, show me that you're left with, in this case, gallons per year when it's all said and done, and give me those units in the answer. All right, one more example today. Raul had done all the measurements perfectly. He needed a piece of plywood that measured 122 centimeters by 244 centimeters. The problem was, with all of his traveling, he had gotten used to the notion that if it's Tuesday, he must be in Belgium. Unfortunately, it was Thursday, and he had jetted to the United States the night before. What size of piece should Raul ask for at the local hardware store where they don't use the metric system? So I need to convert centimeters to feet. If you think about plywood, you know, they're measured either in inches or feet. So I have some converting to do. But I have to do it for each part. So now I've got to convert the 122 centimeters and the 244 centimeters. So we'll do that on the next slide, okay? Okay, so 122 centimeters, we're gonna start there. And I need to convert this to feet. So you might have to do some of this, you might have to look up some of this conversion on your own, okay? You can Google it. Some of your calculators have good unit converters if you need. So I know that meters and feet is a good conversion, so I'm gonna say that there's 100 centimeters in a meter. Now I've got meters, but I need feet. And so if you look it up, the conversion is that there's 3.281 feet in a meter. So I've allowed my meters to cancel, and I've got 3.281 feet. So I've got the units left as feet. So I'm gonna take that times 122 divided by 100. I'm left with 4.00282 feet for that dimension. The math on the second one is exactly the same, you guys, except we start with 244 centimeters. So those cancel, those cancel. When I do the calculating there, I'm left with 8.00654 feet. So he's gonna go to the local hardware store and he's gonna get a 4-foot by 8-foot piece of plywood, and he will be taken care of. Okay, look at Google Classroom for the assignment for this one, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.